أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا ومرحبا بكم. ربما تكون أهم وأكثر النشاطات الإيجابية في مجتمع الجالية بشكل عام تلك المتمثلة في بناء الجسور بين ولاية ميشيغان بشكل عام، الجالية العربية الامريكية والمسلمة بشكل خاص، والاوطان الام في الشرق الاوسط. وخير من يتبنى مثل هذه المبادرات الأستاذ محمد عيسى، مؤسس والمدير العام للمؤسسة التعليمية العالمية Global Educational Excellence، ومقرها في مدينة أناربر التي تضم الكثير من المشاريع التعليمية، منها العديد من المدارس الثانوية. هذه المؤسسة أبرمت العديد من الاتفاقيات والشراكات مع العديد من الجامعات الأمريكية المرموقة، من بينها جامعة مشيغان الشرقية Eastern Michigan University، ومن أجل تقوية وتمتين جسور التواصل مع الأوطان الأم اصطحب الأستاذ محمد عيسى في رحلته الأخيرة للأردن وفلسطين وتركيا أيضا، اصطحب معه رئيس جامعة ميشيغان الدكتور جيمس سميث، الذي ارتقى بجامعة إيسترن ميشيغان لمستويات متقدمة جدا في المجالات المتعددة، وخاصة موضوع التعددية والتنوع والكثير من المجالات الأخرى من الصعب طبعا الحديث عنها الآن. كذلك كان ضمن الوفد البروفيسور المعروف الدكتور محمد كيتو، عميد كلية التكنولوجيا والهندسة الميكانيكية في جامعة ميشيغان، ومجموعة من المسؤولين الأمريكيين. أود الآن التحدث عن هذه الزيارة، وأرحب باسمكم برئيس جامعة ميشيغان إيسترن ميشيغان يونيفرسيتي دكتور جيمس سميث، وعميد كلية الهندسة في الجامعة البروفيسور محمد كيرو، ومؤسس والمدير العام لمؤسسة Global Educational Excellence الأستاذ محمد عيسى، الذين هم معنا الآن مباشرة من أناربر. I would like to warmly welcome all of you, the President James Smith, Dean Professor Mohamad Kitos, Mr. Mohamad Isa. And I would like to start with the President of Eastern Michigan University. Let's start by asking you, Dr. Smith, about your impression regarding the recent visit to Middle East and Turkey. How was that visit, and what was the real objective of the visit?
Well, William, thank you, and thank you for having me today, and my colleague Dean Qatu and my friend Mohamad Issa. We had a wonderful trip in the Middle East. I'd been obviously. I had been to Palestine before. I had been to Jordan before.
Sure.
I had not been to Turkey before. And our big highlight of this event was the opening of the recruitment center that GEE is doing in Amman, Jordan.
Sure.
And we were there to cut the ribbon and to do some introductory speeches. And it is a beautiful facility. Some of your viewers will know the Boulevard area in Amman. It's in a very, very prominent location, right next to the indoor mall at the Boulevard, and we had prestigious guests from really all across Jordan. We had a former prime minister who, through his patronage, we were able to open the center, and we're incredibly impressed as Eastern Michigan University to have a recruiting partner that wants to work exclusively with us. And I had a discussion with Mr. Issa yesterday that Mr. Issa could be doing this work for 15 universities if he chose to. He has chosen with his family to really concentrate on Eastern Michigan. I think we're worthy of that praise, but we're going to work really hard to be great partners. And I enjoyed every bit of the trip. I ate too well. I'm on a diet now that I'm back. I'm eating far less lamb, and I'm sworn off grape leaves, William, for a few weeks. But
No more.
It was a great trip. We saw a lot of wonderful students and a good deal of energy about the recruitment center, but also about the relationship with Eastern Michigan University.
No more Mansaf until the next trip.
I'm not. Dean Qatu is going to laugh off now. I'm not a Mensa fan.
Okay.
There are many, many things in the Middle Eastern diet I like, but Mensa is not one of them.
Magluba maybe, but I must say this, that Eastern Michigan University has an outstanding reputation in the entire Middle Eastern area, not only Middle East, in the Gulf state also, as far as education, information technology, to name a few. And I know for sure, as a graduate of Eastern Michigan University back in 1987, I know that for the last 6 years under your leadership, Mr. President, Eastern Michigan advanced a lot in all area. And I must mention here that Eastern Michigan was named, I heard that the college was named by Princeton University, or Princeton Review is one of the
Correct.
best university in the Midwest. Can you shed some light about this issue?
We can. We routinely reviewed, Princeton Review, U.S. News and World Report. Dean Qatu is now listed in the directory of outstanding engineering schools. So we have worked very hard to up our game, if you will, in the prestige of the university, and present the things that we do well, and then articulate them. Sometimes people don't know what valued treasures we have here on campus, and I feel it's my job as a university president to tell that story and make sure our marketing message is told, not only here in the United States, obviously the 48 contiguous states and Alaska and Hawaii, but to tell it around the world. And I have gone to the Gulf states. I've been to Qatar, I've been to the UAE, I've been to Saudi Arabia, and to do that and to tell those stories, I think is incredibly powerful for parents and employers who are thinking about either sending their child here or employing a young man or young woman who finishes a degree here. So it's a great story to tell, and thank you for bringing that up. It is a real point of pride for us.
This is very important. Diversity and inclusion is something that really this country is built on. And to succeed, you have to have these concepts. Professor Mohamad, Qatu, we know also that Eastern Michigan University has also an outstanding reputation on the international level, as the President suggested, in technology, in engineering, in business, and to name a few. As a Dean of Technology Engineering, what is your department's strategy to attract foreign students, and how the visit help you implement this plan or strategy if it's there?
Yeah, thank you very much, William, for having me here with you, and I really am happy to discuss and talk with you about the College of Engineering and Technology, the GameAbove College of Engineering and Technology at Eastern Michigan University. You know, as President Smith mentioned, we're really very proud to be advancing our university and the college forward in many facets. One facet or one way we are advancing the college is in its reputation. So we did a lot of things for that. We introduced engineering programs that are very competitive, accredited by ABIT. They're really equal bar with the major international universities that you can name globally. And we got our programs accredited by these professional organizations, so they are high quality. We also are we work very hard on the facilities, and I think with the support of President Smith and the Board of Regents, we were able to get a $40+ million investment in Still Hall, and that's now not only innovating the building, but expanding it to be able to add the new programs in engineering and others. So we've invested heavily and introduced in new labs there. I will mention a few. We have an advanced lab in robotics. We have an advanced lab in 3D printing. We have an advanced advanced lab in virtual reality. Actually, we have two labs, one that's focused more on research, and we're developing another one that is based on using virtual reality in education. We have another lab in unmanned aerial systems. Just to name a few.
Sure.
We were also very proud that we got the support from premier individuals and premier professionals and well-known people like Jack Roush, who actually
Sure.
donated significantly to the college, and we named our automotive lab after him. As well as Woods Construction, a construction company that's supporting our construction management program. So we've been investing heavily in the infrastructure. That coupled with with what I mentioned about the good quality program that is externally evaluated and accredited, really helped us move globally to advance the university and advance the college, to the point we were successful in establishing a joint college of engineering with a partner in the mainland China that is bringing hundreds of students to the university and to the college. And we're looking now forward to establish more relationships in the Middle East that will bring, again, more students and bring talent to the overall public at large. Not, in Michigan, of course, but also in these home institutions, whether it is China or Jordan or Palestine. We're looking forward to advance the status of the people as well as the economies of these countries.
Great. When it comes to Arab student in general, it is well known, Professor Qatu, that Arab students in general are brilliant when it comes to math. That's why we see great percentage of them specialized in engineering and in other discipline that required mathematics. Mr. Mohamad, Issa may be part of your mission or visit to Jordan. It's not obviously the first time. You are a frequent visitor to Jordan and Palestine and Turkey and other Middle Eastern countries, but this particular one was geared to officially celebrate the grand opening of your Middle Eastern Outreach Center. Can we call it Outreach Center in Al-Abdali, Amman? How was the celebration? Dr. Smith, touched a little bit on it, but I want you to talk about it and what was the impact in Jordan about that celebration.
السلام عليكم مرة
عليكم
ثانية.
السلام، أهلا وسهلا.
الهدف الرئيسي كان عزومة بدر بدران وعزومة الشخصيات. I should speak English, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Which is, the reason we invited the previous Badr Badran, he's the key person for education.
نعم.
His brother was a professor. He was a professor. The whole family, it's a huge in the education.
Mm-hmm.
Our intention was to make sure our name goes all over Jordan. And which is, if you're asking why we open in Jordan, why we open in Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
Boulevard, it's a key. It's going to be the future for Jordan, and it's going to be the center for all our students. If you think about the Boulevard, it's close to Jabal Hussein, close to the Balad, close to everywhere, which is within 15 minutes you could reach to our office.
No.
And that's why we decided to do it there. I know even the Prime Minister asked me the question, why you're doing it in the most expensive area. I said, you know what, Mr. Badran, I want to make sure I respect the students. I want to make sure they come to a place where they feel comfortable.
Hello.
Because when we looked at different universities, we looked at many universities, but believe it or not, I'm biased. Biased for two things. For my hometown in Michigan and my hometown in Jordan.
Hello.
I want to see what would benefit the Jordanian as much as what would benefit EMU, which is I want to bring more students, and our office in Ann Arbor, it's only 10 minutes away from from EMU, and we should be able to manage. And if there's any issue with the students, we should be able to go deal with them, talk to them, because a lot of those, most of those students, first time they come to the US, and if they don't have somebody here to take care of them the first time, believe it or not, they struggle. Soon they come from the airport. We have somebody from our office. They take them from the airport, greet them, place them in the hotel, and we continue work with them to make sure they're okay. Which is, you know, when we deal in Jordan, this is the services we give, let the parents know. When your kid comes to us or your daughter comes to us, it's she or he, they're safe. We will take care of them. And it means a lot to the parents to see somebody there to look up for their kids.
Great, great. Dr. James Smith, the president of Eastern Michigan University, and Dr. Mohamad Qatu also. I would like to ask you a question about Arab student in general. Again, it's well known that Arab students in general, Jordanian and Palestinian in particular, are conditioned at a very early stage or at a very early age to become doctors and or engineers. And this would involve the entire family as a very strong support unit for the student to accomplish that goal. My question to both of you, Professor Mohamad and the Dean of major university, technology and engineering, how do you nurture this unique concept that embedded in a student character?
I think that's a very important question. The students who are coming from the Middle East, they typically go the routes of STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, and or maybe as another choice, business. We definitely strongly encourage them to continue that path. It's a very rewarding path. In the state of Michigan, there is a shortage, very well established and well known shortage of STEM professionals, all the way from medicine to engineering to pharmacy to dentistry, as well as like math educators, physics educators, chemistry educators. There is quite a bit of shortage in these areas, and we strongly encourage students to pursue STEM fields. Students with Middle Eastern background will probably have an advantage because there was an emphasis in these areas throughout their education, K through 12, or before they come to college. So they're going to find that they can prosper and advance themselves here and offer a much needed talent to the area. One thing I want to say about Eastern Michigan University also that relates to Middle Eastern people is that there is a good sized community of Middle Eastern backgrounds on campus here. Women in particular, you're going to find a lot of friends here who wear a scarf, for example, on campus. It's a common scene. You can almost see it in every class. There are religious places for students to go to. There is a very strong Middle Eastern community and student association here. They can be mentored. They will develop friends. They will develop relationship in the university. I will just also add that, and maybe President Smith may also speak more about this, but in Detroit, which is really the major city we're close to, the Detroit Wayne County Airport has only direct flight to only one city in the whole Middle East, and that's Amman, Jordan.
Yes.
That's how you are only basically 10, 11 hours away from us when you live in Jordan in particular. And so we have a very strong relationship, and we'd like that to continue.
And it's really very important. Michigan, in particular, among the 50 states, are well known as Arabic country. The only thing missing here is the photo or the picture of the president or the king, and we don't need both of them. Yeah. So, Doctor.
I would add, William.
Yes.
If I could add just a point to
Sure.
Dean Qatu's very well said piece about the university and our relationship to the Middle East. When we are not in a COVID environment, as we hope to be back to normal for the fall, we have 88 different countries represented on our campus.
Sure.
So students will not be surprised to find people from African nations,
Yes.
from European nations, from South America, from Australia, New Zealand. And I think that adds comfort. As Mohamad said also, that it is not unusual for us to have a large number of students who are first-generation college students, but they grew up in Dearborn or they grew up in Hamtramck.
Yes.
So they're very comfortable on our campus. We're a welcoming place. Dearborn is close. Hamtramck's a little farther, but we feel like people can feel very comfortable being who they are here on our campus. And if you saw the community today, as it has for the last couple of years, we have signage all around the community that says, all are welcome here.
Sure.
We want people to know that we are the United Nations. We want people from all over the globe to feel comfortable being in our classrooms, being in our laboratories. And you're absolutely right. The mathematics skills of some of our Middle Eastern students continue to shine year after year after year.
We have in the Middle East in general, Palestine and Jordan in particular, the best teachers in the world. As a matter of fact, the Jordanian, Palestinian teachers are well known to build schools in the Gulf state and in other Arabic countries. It's also well known that Eastern Mashayikh University started as a teaching school, teacher school, right? And somebody mentioned earlier, maybe Dr. or Ustad Mohamad Issa, there is a shortage of teachers in Michigan as well as in other states. Are there any plan to maybe form a partnership with Mr. Mohamad Issa Educational Institution to bring teachers from the Middle East? I know that your expertise is to bring foreign students, but we want also teachers because they are very much committed.
If you don't mind, I'd like to respond to this.
Sure.
First of all, I would say 50% of our students in Michigan, we have about 350 graduates, they go to EMU, which is, I'm very proud to see our students go to EMU. Number two, for recruitment of teachers, we are working very closely with MAPSA, which is MAPSA, it's an organization representing charter school, and hopefully we will put up programs together with the EMU or other university to make sure we could bring some teachers working here, bring them for working permit, and eventually they could finish their master or they could finish their certification through EMU, which
Sure.
is, we're working toward that project, which is, it's not easy complication, as I mentioned to the governor. I told her we need to work in some kind of programs where we could make it easier to bring educator here. You're right. When it comes to math and science, they're very, very strong area where we could benefit a lot from. Hopefully we will, we have one teacher who we brought her from Jordan. She's a math teacher. She's doing an amazing job already,
Great.
And she's already working and going through the immigration process.
Sure. As you know, Mr. Issa, students' visa are not easy to obtain at all embassies, not only the American embassy in Amman, Jordan. What is the nature of your educational institutions, global education excellence relation with the U.S. Embassy in Amman? Are there any?
I just have to thank Dr. Smith. He went to the embassy and he already talked to them, and hopefully we made things easier in case if we have to make an appointment, emergency appointment. we should be able to do that, which is, you're right. It's not easy, but we expect after November, the end of November, things should ease up,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know from my experience, I have a little knowledge of immigration, and I know it's really very difficult for those who are on B1, B2 visa to convert their visa while they are here to F1 visa, student visa. Do you encounter this kind of challenges to foreign visitors who would like to become a student, to convert to become students? Dr. James, maybe?
First of all, I agree with Mr. Issa that it was a good visit to the embassy. I want to thank Senator Peters. I don't believe without Gary's support we would have been able to get into the embassy and spend well over an hour, almost an hour and a half with the embassy staff. But you're right, William, that there are complexities around visa work that are maddening to students. We have Jordanian students that tell me that they can't go visit friends in Palestine. They can't get into Palestine, and it frustrates them. And I always say I can only help with what I can help with. And I can help with the U.S. Embassy. I do know ways to direct students to the right people who can give them the right directions. I think Mr. Issa is right. We do have some opportunities with young teachers coming over, maybe working with the GEE schools for 3 years or so. But while they're here, then we would like to have them start their master's coursework with us and to be able to go back maybe to Palestine as a master's degree holder after having been here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We recognize the brain drain around the world, and we're not trying to capture people that are great leaders for their home countries, but we want to send them back with more talent sets. And the embassy seems to understand that. It's very easy for me, who's a U.S. citizen and always has been, to say it's not that complicated because I've never been entangled in some of the things that our students are entangled with. But we work with our students to the very best of our ability to get them with proper visa certificates. We have STEM, the ability to stay a little longer in OPT with a STEM certification. We work with our students there. It's a real point of pride for us to see our students do well, whether they stay here in the United States or whether they end up in Oman or Qatar or wherever they are in the world. They make us proud, and that's part of the whole visa relationship with the embassies and our leadership at the university.
Sure. Well, it seems that this beautiful and beneficial, fruitful engagement, conversation with you guys will go ahead.
William, I just want to add one thing. It's very important.
Sure.
I was talking to Dr. Smith and Dr. Mohamad. Even if the student don't come to the U.S., we should be able to work with them in Jordan or Palestine, which is we already work.
You have office there, yes.
Yes, we're already working with I had a long conversation yesterday with the Palestinian Authority, which is we're going to do some kind of programs with the EMU, and hopefully that even if they don't show up here, we should be working with them.
Great. Anything else, Dr. Mohamad Qatu?
No, I think we're looking forward, as we discussed before, to build a stronger relationships with countries like Jordan and Palestine. And we already explored and visited, I think, 5 or 6 universities in this trip. We did visit other universities in the past. There are a lot of opportunities for collaboration on various fronts. I mean, we discussed here academic collaboration where we can bring students to Eastern from these countries to finish their degrees. But we can work together in various forms to help each other.
Mm-hmm. I really like to thank you very much, but you have all to promise me that next interview very soon, hopefully it's all going to be in Arabic language, including Dr. James Smith. You have enough time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to learn other than inshallah. and
I know that Dean Qatu is a really good translator, so we can make that work, William.
Yes, absolutely. I am sure that this beautiful conversation will continue so as to hopefully provide the best possible education and awarenesses about higher education and about Eastern Michigan University. And I believe that one of the best way to serve community and strengthen the bridge of understanding and cooperation between here and the Middle East in general through this type of conversation. President of Eastern Michigan University, James Smith, thank you very much for being with us. Professor Mohamad Qatu, Dean of Engineering and Technology, thank you. And Mr. Mohamad Issa, owner and General Manager of Global Education Excellence. I really appreciate all of you being with us. If you would like to maybe send a positive message to foreign students in general for maybe 30 seconds, we'll start with Dr. James. I am sorry I ended the program, then I came back, but it's okay.
No, I'd be happy to do that, William. I would say to all students, particularly our students in the Middle East and the Gulf states, you will enjoy your time here. You will learn in very unique and different ways, and we will help you be comfortable as a graduate of Eastern Michigan University from the very beginning to the very end of your educational experience. I will promise that as university president, and I think we've delivered consistently over time.
Dean Mohamad Qatu?
I think I will just add to what President Smith said, that you are going to receive top-notch education here at Eastern Michigan University that is parallel to the best you can imagine worldwide. And also, we have many scholarships that the students can actually get. It's open to all international students. The first of which I will mention here is that international students will receive in-state tuition, which substantially helps the pockets of the students and the parents in terms of pursuing and finishing their education. I will argue that we're probably the most competitive four-year degree granting institution in the U.S., especially if you add a couple of other scholarships that are available to international students.
Fantastic. Thank you. Mr. Mohamad Issa?
I'm just going to say I want the parents to trust us. Come to EMU, very safe campus, very friendly staffing, and they have the top 2 campuses, which is business school and engineering school. Both I visit, they're one of the kind, and they're amazing professor, an amazing environment, and there's what's around them very safe, and we will support them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, gentlemen, for being with us. أعزائي المشاهدين، شكرا لإصغائكم ومتابعتكم، وحتى ألتقي معكم في الأسبوع القادم في حلقة جديدة من هذا البرنامج. لكم مني ومن أسرة البرنامج أجمل تحية، والسلام عليكم.